Hey everyone, Dr. Zio here again, and today we're here to talk about Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2, Episode, 19, Bad Vibes. And the vibes were pretty bad. They were certainly bad for a great episode of Dino Fury. This episode was a Javi and Izzy focused episode, so we get Garcia sibling goodness. But surprisingly enough, not much Garcia sibling synergy, and I certainly have a problem with that. But, as always, let's go ahead and do our breakdown. So we do our summary, likes, dislikes, conclusion, and then our question of the week. This time around, I don't have on any honest dislikes. This was a great episode of Power Rangers, but yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So we start off back at the park, or I guess the Warden's Park place, so to speak. I don't know the exact name for it. But basically, the warden and his crew are making sure that the drill works, and they've verified, okay, the drill's operational. They've done whatever they need to do to get the new water system operational. So after that, Warden Garcia goes home to his family. It's early in the morning, and they're all having fun. It turns out that today, I believe it's that day, is their family day. I guess every year they celebrate the day in which their two families merged into one in a happy, ceremonious union of sorts. And Izzy and Javi, I guess while they appreciate their families coming together, they do not appreciate having to do karaoke every year. And so they complain about this, but the Garcia parents say, okay, you know what? That is okay. How about y'all come up with a better idea for this year? And then they're like, okay, we're down. We'll go ahead and brainstorm some ideas. And so after that, we switch back over to the villain side of things, and the Voids are having a nice little moment. Void Knight's gotten his Void Queen a nice Sporix blaster. It's basically powered up. It's powered by the Sporix from the jukebox machine, and we get a nice little flashback of Santura turning into Void Queen and Void King turning into, or Tarek turning into Void King. And so they want to use that to, I guess, use that on the Rangers, I suppose. So back at Buzz Blast, the Rangers are talking, brainstorming ideas, and Javi and Izzy mention how, his karaoke sucks. But Jane overhears this and she's like, ooh, karaoke. We can have a karaoke night at Buzz Blast today. So Jane sets into motion plans for a karaoke day, and that's that. And then Wreckmate is attacking the town, so the Rangers go to, answer the call. They go to fight Wreckmate and Nolai, who are both in town, along with henchmen. And it's a pretty decent fight. Not really much to note here. The most important bit of this fight is that Nolai ends up shooting Izzy and Javi with the Sporks gun, and then misses the rest of the Rangers. And then Ion ends up destroying the Sporks gun. And Avi and his Izzy are like, oh no, we're okay. Let's go back to the base with all dramatic, evil flair. And so they go back to the base, and that's when shit kicks into high gear because we get some good evil Garcia sibling energy. And the Garcia siblings, basically Javi, they attack Solon, and then Izzy activates the Dino Dagger, which we haven't seen the Dino Daggers in a minute. So it was nice seeing these weapons again, and she flings it at the container holding the Sporix. That pushes it out of its little spot in the wall, I guess. And then Javi activates the Hover Dino Key to levitate it toward them. And then Ion shoots Javi in the arm, so the Hover Dino Key deactivates. And then he grabs onto Izzy and he sees, you're not feeling good, you're feeling evil. Yo, the delivery there was so corny. Just so corny. Like, I can't fault them though, because it was funny. Like, it made me laugh. And then their plans having failed, Izzy and Javi teleport away. And Zato has a good idea to tell Solon to disable their teleportation system, because so they can't teleport back into the base or teleport around town. So props to you, Zato, on doing that. And now we go back to some area in Pine Ridge where Izzy and Javi are bowing to Void Queen, and they basically apologize to Void Queen for failing, but they tell them that hey, we know that your key failed, but it's not the fault of the key. It's because you don't have the passcode required. Oh, also, Warden Garcia had an extra key, so now there are two keys for the drill. But basically, yeah, they need the passcode, and Izzy and Javi, evil Izzy and Javi, promise to get Void Queen the passcode. So now the rest of the episode, or the next bit, is Izzy and Javi going home, and for their idea for Family Day, they suggest that they go to their father's workplace and see the drill. So they leave for the drill place, and the Rangers teleport in. They teleport to the outside of the Garcia family house, just missing them by a hair, and then they teleport to the school next. Meanwhile, Izzy and Javi, and I guess the Garcia family is at the park place where they're holding the drill, and Mucus is there too because Mucus had attached herself onto the back of the Garcia's car, and so they find that the code is 0312. That is that day's date in universe, as well as the day as their family day, so to speak. They get Mucus gets the code, and then Izzy suggests, "Hey, you know what? I'm actually feeling like karaoke. Let's go do karaoke." So they go to Buzz Blast for the karaoke. Meanwhile, Mucus activates the drill. Void King and the monster of the week, whose name is, I think it's, what is it? Clawfair, who I'm just going to call Dr. Sporix because I like Dr. Sporix more. But basically, Void King pops in with Dr. Sporix and Null Eye, and Void King activates the drill, and he sets it to the Rangers' base. So now they're going to drill into the base to get the Sporix, which is a really, really good plan. Now, Null Eye and Dr. Sporix go distract the Rangers. The Rangers get into a pretty good fight. Meanwhile, the Garcia family arrives at Buzz Blast for the festivities, and they're the first ones up. Then we segue back to the Rangers fighting Null Eye and Dr. Sporix. Zato beats Null Eye with the Dino Master mode, and then Emilia causes Dr. Sporix to grow big. Meanwhile, at the Buzz Blast side of things, everyone's having a really good time. You know, the Garcia family get into a nice little Brady Bunch-ish, Partridge Family sing-along, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. And then the Garcia parents start having their own little duet, and Izzy and Javi are sitting down reminiscing about the good times throughout the season. The moments where they've come together with their parents, whether it's Izzy and Mrs. Garcia having their moments about the dress, or Warden Garcia finally accepting his son for the musical artist he is. And I guess this reminiscing causes the Sporix Blaster's effects to wear off, but however, they don't remember anything that's happened since the time that they got shot. And now the parents call them back up to sing, so they continue singing with their parents, and then Annie pops in. She's like, "Hey, we need to get out of here because the Rangers are having a giant monster battle just a few miles away from this location." So they evacuate, and basically the Rangers defeat Dr. Sporix with the Primal Ultra Zord, and then Void Queen gets his powered up Sporix. Then the Rangers confront Void Queen, Javi and Izzy show up, and basically Emilia clues them in on what's happened, and Void Queen's like, "They've done exactly what I needed them to do," teleports away. Meanwhile, back at the base, Solon's doing a crossword puzzle. God, I love Solon. Bless her soul. And she gets interrupted because the drill penetrates the base. Void King shoots Solon, blasting her back into a wall, grabs the Sporix chest because they had just left it on the counter after their confrontation with Izzy and Javi, and he teleports away. And then the episode ends on a cliffhanger with Solon calling the Rangers and passing out at that point. So yeah, a lot happened in this episode. So let's go ahead and talk about our likes. First things up, like a lot of my likes for this for Dino Fury is the comedy. First up, Warden Garcia, when he gets back to the Garcia family home, he starts singing into a hose, and Mrs. Garcia turns on the hose, spraying him in the face, and then he turns around and ends up spraying Mrs. Garcia and the Garcia siblings. And it was a funny moment. It was very lighthearted, it wasn't too much for the moment. It was just a good family together time with the Garcia family. Like I love that. I love that so much. Like just the Garcias in general, every single last one of them are fantastic in this show, and I cannot get enough of them. Continuing on though, Wreckmate makes fun of Zato. He says that he's gonna make them walk the plank, and Zato's like, "What plank?" Because he doesn't know what that is referencing to. So Wreckmate explains it's a pirate movie thing, and Zato in a very aggressive, shouty way says, "I don't know what you're talking about," and like. Just the abruptness of that delivery just completely caught me off guard that I had to laugh. Like, bless you, Zato. Like, again, I love Zato and his Zatoisms, and anytime we get that is a thumbs up moment for me. Continuing on, though, Amelia also, when they first encounter Dr. Sporix, she says, "The coat makes you look like a doctor," and then Zato follows it up with, "And we'd be happy to send you to the emergency room." And I'm like, fuck, Power Rangers, that's kind of dark. Like, Zato, I know you've got a thing against the Sporix for destroying your home, but damn, dude, just tone it down a little bit. This is a kid's show. Another funny thing was when Dr. Sporix ends up turning giant, he says the doctor is enraged instead of the doctor is in. And I thought that's a funny play on words, Power Rangers. That's a really funny play on words. And then when the Garcia siblings arrive after they've dispelled their evil Sporix energy, Amelia catches them up and she's like, "And you were all take over the world." Rawr. I'm like, oh no. Another silly moment between the Rangers that I absolutely loved. Like, as I've said before, silly moments between the Rangers are perfectly fine. I absolutely love them, and Power Rangers Ninja Storm is the perfect, the perfect example of how to do silly moments between the Rangers without necessarily having to have a specific comedic duo. Like everyone in the cast, whether it's the core Rangers themselves or the people on the villain side, brings in comedy in a just delightful way in that season, and we're getting a lot of that in the back half of season 2 with the absence of Jane and Jayborg. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Although I do honestly wish we saw more Jane and Jayborg in season 2. More serious Jane and Jayborg. We really haven't gotten any serious moments from Jayborg, but we've gotten serious moments from Jane, and those have been really refreshing. Like, it really shows that Jane's actress is just, it's really good. It takes advantage of her skills, and I've enjoyed those moments. But moving on, when the Rangers are brainstorming about what things to do for the Garcia family's holiday day or the family day, Ion specifically mentions that his family used to go tree climbing on Blorka, and when they ask what's Blorka, Zato says he says it's or was, and the fact that he changed it's to was, it was a subtle yet very revealing line there. It shows us that even though it's probably been a little while since Ravcon got destroyed, the impact of that destruction hasn't necessarily sunk in completely with Zato. Like, maybe he hasn't had enough time to talk about Ravcon, or maybe in the commotion of trying to really destroy the Sporix or capture all the Sporix, they really haven't had a moment of, I guess, levity to actually let all that drama really sink in. And I'm like, I'm feeling for Zato. I'm really, really feeling for Zato. But beyond that, I'm just liking the fact that Ion's mentioning Ravcon more in these last few episodes, because as I've said before this, Ion didn't really seem to care too much about Ravcon, his home that got sieged by the Sporix 65 million years ago. And the fact that they're kind of fixing that in the back half of the season, it's good. I am genuinely enjoying that. But beyond that, the siege scene at the base was very well choreographed. Like, just as I mentioned before, good evil Garcia sibling synergy there, and the music in that scene was perfect. Like, it communicated the urgency of the scene and just the gravity of everything that's going on. And like, I felt tense, like trying to figure out, oh snap, is this the moment where Void Queen finally gets the Sporix? I'm like, and like I've genuinely believed that the Garcia siblings were going to be successful in their mission in that moment. So to see them not be successful, it was surprising. It was genuinely surprising. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Garcia family's, sing along moments back at Buzz Blast karaoke night or karaoke day. I guess it was still in the middle of the day. Yeah, any moment with Javi singing is great, but a moment with him singing along with the rest of his family is even better because we find out that Tessa Rao can sing. She's a little bit. It seemed like she was a little bit shy in the moment. She wasn't really belting out notes. Like she was a little bit unsure of herself, but it was still good. Like her voice harmonizes very well with Chance's voice, and I enjoyed that. Warden Garcia and Mrs. Garcia's voices were also good, and I honestly wouldn't mind, getting more singing moments from the whole family. Like it was good. It was genuinely good. But my last few likes for this episode all revolve around the way the episode ended. First off, seeing Solon get blasted against the wall, dope, absolutely dope. And then Void King walking in, being all, no, 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 don't get up. I'm just here to pick up a parcel because after all this time, it's mine. And that was perfect. The delivery there was perfect. The music there was perfect. It was intense, and like you felt like Void King's joy, and I guess it was imposing and threatening, his delivery there, from getting the Sporks, and that was good. I love that moment, and seeing Solon crawling and kind of moaning over to the console and then activating the console, being like, Rangers, they've taken our Sporks, and then passing out. Whoo! Yo, I felt that in my chest. I definitely felt that in my chest. I felt for Solon. Oh, speaking of the Solon, her doing a crossword puzzle was hilarious. Like, I love Solon moments. Solon's fantastic. But yeah, this episode ending on a cliffhanger was definitely the right way to go. Going into our 20, 21, and 22 three-part season 2 finale. And I can't wait, to review those episodes because at this point I've already seen them. But yeah, conclusion-wise, just a great episode that, finally had some payoff for Void Queen's plan. I can't wait to see what she does with the Sporks here in the next few episodes. Also got some really good Garcia sibling moments and Garcia family moments, which, as you all know, I already always love all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. Yeah, great cliffhanger that sets up the three-part finale very, very effectively. Really, question of the week wise, the only thing I have to say is, what's Void Queen's big plan for the Sporks? She has all the Sporks now, so it's just a matter of seeing what she finally does with all of them now that they're in her hands and how the Rangers end up stopping her. But we'll see all of that here soon. But yeah, that's all I have to talk about for today. Thank you for watching. I'm Dr. Zio. As always, get your booster shots. New COVID boosters are available for the new Omicron variant, so go get them wherever you can. Still stay masked up because COVID is no joke. Comment, like, and subscribe because I do appreciate that. Additionally, it does help with the YouTube algorithm. But until next time, I'm Dr. Zio. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao.